the intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Welcome in, everybody. Some breaking news. Figure we talk with you today. Scopely, your favorite game company for Marvel Strike Force, Star Trek Fleet Command, WWE game. Several different titles has today been acquired by a Saudi Arabian investment group known as Savvy Games Group, which we'll talk about here in a bit. Sold for a whopping that's a lot of money, $4.9 billion. Now, the article is out on variety.com if you want to check this out. We'll drop a link to it in the description of the video or something, or maybe we'll put it in the comment section. Would that be easier if we just throw it in the comment section? Look down below, you'll find it. But anyway, Scrabble Go, Yahtzee with buddies, etc., selling for 4.9. And Savvy is as I said, a Saudi Arabian private investment firm, which is a little almost ironic to me because that's basically kind of what Scopely is, an investment firm. But anyway, big news if you're a Star Trek Fleet Command fan or Marvel Strike Force, etc. I'll be honest, I don't necessarily think this is going to change how anything happens in the particular game. I think it's just a case of big company buying big company. I'm very curious to see if it does alter anything. But it does speak into the article about how part of the acquisition is that Scopely will remain autonomous and it will continue to operate under its CEO and continue to move forward as it has in recent years, which, if you remember, Scopely's been making moves on their own. If you go back just 2019, they bought Fox Next from Disney, and that was a pretty big acquisition. That's how they got Marvel Strike Force and ended up renaming this studio. It's no longer called Fox Next, but little Scopely history for you there. And then you had back in 2021 Sony acquisition. So they bought GSN Games from Sony for a whopping $1 billion, half of that coming in pure cash and the rest coming in a stake in Scopely. So that's just some examples of some of the moves that our friends over here, like tip of the cap to them, have been making to grow as a company, but now they themselves have been acquired. What's interesting a little bit, and look, I'll be the first to tell you that I'm not the biggest when it comes to the finance world. I'm not a CPA, I'm not a banker, I'm not any of that. But it is interesting to see the evaluation grow. So when we talk about Scopely, when they acquired Fox Next and going back to 2009, this was a company that was evaluated over $1 billion. And that, to me, was a mind-blowing amount. They were just extremely valuable, apparently, in terms of their evaluation when they went through their rounds of investment fundraising. Then you get to Sony, where they went and made this purchase. At this point in 2021, they had an evaluation of $5.4 billion. That's quite hefty. Very big. And as the article talks about, $1 billion in cash and stock. And I think it shows the company was growing. You love, hate, whatever you want to do. You had a 3.3 evaluation go up to 5.4 and just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now going and actually being sold to another group that seems basically like Scopely, but just not here, just Savvy Games Group. And I know really very little about them. You can go to their website and see about their CEO, Brian Ward. Here's on the back of your screen. It says, former head of worldwide studios at Activision Blizzard, who has over 25 years experience successfully founding and leading companies and teams in the gaming industry, including at entertainment giants, Electronic Arts, and Microsoft. As a senior VP worldwide studios at Activision, he managed all development from portfolio planning and concept design to quality assurance. Hey, I could use some of that here in Star Trek Fleet Command. Code release and customer service. While in this role, Call of Duty became the industry's first multi-studio annualized franchise and the first IP in history to set a 5-day revenue launch record for 3 consecutive years across all forms of entertainment. That's their group CEO. You see CEO Kadri Harma. You got Yannick Taylor. And you can, again, see all this information we'll put down in the comment section down below, and I'm sure people will be discussing this in our Discord because it is pretty big news. The thought of Scopely getting purchased is, well, if you've been following me, I've been talking about this as a possibility. You look at a lot of the moves that they've made, there's always going to be a bigger fish out there that wants to come in and get a piece of the pie, and this definitely adds to Savvy Games' portfolio. Imagine acquiring something that has the rolling revenue of a Marvel Strike Force, of a Star Trek Fleet Command, the power of those IPs, and just the fact of what Scopely itself is worth, and shown that they're worth with how they've acquired various gaming studios and games that they run. So all in all, I don't necessarily think this affects your daily average player, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of discussion amongst all of you what this means. I truly don't think it does much. I think this is just companies buying companies, and this is just stuff that you see happen all the time. Nothing really happened when Marvel Strike Force was purchased by Scopely. Sure, the pack structures probably changed a little bit. Star Trek Fleet Command fans know what I'm talking about. But did the game really change? No. Is it continuing on its pace? Yes. Is it growing? Is it still operated by the same game company? Yes. It's kind of like Digit. Digit is the main game developer for Star Trek Fleet Command. I don't see Savvy Games Group coming in and say, hey, Digit, get out of here. Time for these guys to come in, and we've got our own thing. So realistically, it's just a big news item. And anytime you see a massive number like 4.9 billion, it makes you go, wow, that's freaking impressive. It really is. I mean, truthfully, it is. The article goes to say, I know it's hard to read because I've got it on a smaller screen, but I'll read it for you. Scopely will continue to be led by co-CEOs Walter Driver and Javier Ferreira. I have no idea how to pronounce your last name, Javier, and I apologize. Please do not smite me. Savvy Games is led by Brian Ward, who we just talked about. And here's a quote about the acquisition. Scopely is one of the fastest growing game companies today, and we have long admired their ability to build loyal, engaged player communities. Okay, Brian, let me just go ahead and tell you real quick. The loyalty is to the IPs. We love Marvel, we love WWE, we love Star Trek. But anyway, I get what you're saying, and it reads great on Variety.com. Driver said in a statement, Driver being CEO here at Scopely, Savvy Games Group shares our long-held belief that the companies who have built the deepest relationships with their players will succeed. Just reading the quote, ladies and gentlemen. Together as one, we will be able to further expand the possibilities of play, continuing to develop beloved game experiences for players around the world. This transformational partnership is a great validation of the incredible talent of our entire Scopely team and will further accelerate our efforts to drive the games industry forward. And I will say this, it definitely does speak to exactly what they said. Selling anything for $4.9 billion is a big deal. I sell my trading card game for $24.99 a deck. So do the Scopely math on that one. I mean, so respect to what they've built. And we might have frustrations with various things as gamers tend to do. I highly doubt that Brian can tell you from his experience with the EA and Activision stuff that everybody was just chipper and happy at all times. There are definitely things that you want to see improve as a player, but in terms of as a company, definitely speaks to their success. Selling 4.9. Can I get a chunk of that change? Woof. Anyway, what I'm very curious is to see what y'all think about this, and letting the players know is my job. So welcome to the news studio. It's a little bit of a revamp. It's different from the last one we've done, and welcome to the Team RD News Desk. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you've been informed. And again, all of this information will drop in the comment section down below. That way you can see it and go read this for yourself, because you probably didn't know about it until you saw the video. That's what I'm here for. And last but not least, if you want to support the channel for Star Trek Fleet Command content, as well as just generalized dirtydom, check out the merch panels. Check out the stuff in our description. Y'all are amazing. Live long and prosper. It fits the theme for the announcement, right? Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your hump day.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.